Back when I was younger, I totally kissed the cheek of the older girl living right next door. Stick with me here because I actually promised to marry her someday. Now fast forward to my very first day of college. The reigning campus goddess literally blocked my path in front of a huge crowd and smirked, asking, "So little guy, when are you finally marrying me?" That one crazy sentence made the whole university plus roughly 70 billion imaginary male students feel like their entire worlds had just absolutely collapsed. Since when did campus goddesses become this insanely proactive? Right then, my best bro Kevin and I were just chilling on the subway. We both just got accepted into Riverwood University, and today was officially our first day heading to the campus for fresh enrollment. Pay attention here. Kevin smacked my shoulder and asked, "Dude, did you know Riverwood's campus goddess Vanessa is insanely gorgeous? Word is she stayed behind as a teaching assistant. Total brains and beauty, a literal genius." Hearing the name Vanessa, my old childhood memories instantly came flooding back. I wasn't originally from the southern city of Sioux. My true hometown was up in Ling, and my whole childhood was deeply rooted there. Back then, my family actually lived next door to a girl who was 6 years older than me. She absolutely loved teasing me constantly. Her name was Vanessa. As a kid, I was totally obsessed with eating and playing. Every single time Vanessa came home from school, she'd bring me snacks. You and I both know the classic drill. I'd pretend to study at her house, but really I just wanted her free food. Meanwhile, Vanessa just genuinely loved hugging and playing with me. A massive chunk of my childhood was literally spent sitting on her lap. Whenever I threw a massive tantrum and refused, she'd invent a million clever ways to lure me into her room just so she could hug me all over again. But everything changed when I turned 8 and my entire family relocated down to Sioux City. Since that move, I rarely saw Vanessa. Now hearing Kevin drop that name, I seriously wondered, could it really be her? Wait, you've heard of her too? Kevin saw me whispering Vanessa's name and quickly asked, "Got a picture?" "Of course I do. Right on the university confession wall, there's a side profile pic of her." Kevin instantly whipped out his phone, dug up the photo of Vanessa, and shoved it in my face. In the picture, her long hair partially hid her face, but those delicate features were absolutely striking enough to leave a permanent impression at first glance. And yeah, you guessed it. I looked closely, and it was definitely the Vanessa I knew. "Let's dive into this fun mystery." Kevin asked if she was pretty. "I actually know her," I replied. He stared like I had 3 heads. "Oh, please, if you really know the campus goddess, I will happily eat a whole pile of dirt. Seriously, bro. If you want to eat dirt, just say it. No excuses needed," I fired back. Still joking around, we finally stepped out of the subway and reached Riverwood University. We hadn't seen this mysterious goddess yet, but the entrance looked like an absolute massive festival. Thankfully, since I was pretty quick and agile, I easily dodged through that massive crowd at the front gates. "I really need to ask someone for directions right now," I mumbled. Looking around, I noticed a girl standing nearby in a beautiful one-piece dress holding a tiny handbag. Her graceful aura was just completely off the charts. You could totally tell she was gorgeous just from behind. Based on her confident style, I figured she was an upperclassman, so I boldly walked over to ask for help. If not, whatever, I would simply ask someone else. "Excuse me, miss. Could you point me toward Virtue Hall?" I cheerfully stepped right up, greeted her, and asked the way. "Now watch closely because everything shifts here." She turned to point the way, and we both completely froze. It was like looking right through time, seeing our childhood reflections staring back at us. That tiny kid who always admired her, now a whole head taller. And she had somehow blossomed into an even more incredibly elegant and stunningly beautiful young woman than before. Wait, Vanessa. They always say people change so much growing up, but her vibe was exactly the same. I recognized her bright face instantly. Vanessa, on the other hand, hesitated for a second. My massive glow-up was just way too dramatic. "Can you believe this crazy coincidence?" She recognized my eyes. Once I finally said her name, she knew this tall guy was definitely me. It had literally been years since our last meeting. Standing right there in front of her, I suddenly felt super awkward and speechless. Seriously, what was I supposed to do now? Tackle her with a giant hug like back in the day? Back then, it was totally fine. I absolutely had that cute little kid immunity. But pulling a move like that now as a tall grown man, definitely a one-way ticket to jail. Thankfully, her bright eyes lit right up, a huge, joyful smile blooming on her face. "Who's your counselor? I'll walk you there." "Miss Vanessa, honestly, just pointing the way is perfectly fine. I really don't want to bother you." She was clearly heading somewhere important, and I hated intruding, but she just smiled warmly and shook her head. I'm heading to Professor Davis anyway. What a coincidence. And that's where we leave it. Trust me, you'll love what comes next. Stick with me here, you are about to watch the absolute cutest romance, she jokingly reminded him. She was his teacher. Stick with me here. Seeing her smile, I instantly knew she was plotting something. Missing a single word is a crime, call me Miss Vanessa. That wicked little smile of hers was exactly the same as years ago. Years ago, whenever she smiled like that, she was tricking me into a huge hug. But right now, I had absolutely no idea what her wild endgame was. As we walked and chatted, my chunky best friend Kevin finally squeezed right through the massive crowd. He was just about to shout my name until his eyes locked completely onto the stunning girl walking right beside me. Holy crap, this guy actually works lightning fast. Already bagged a hottie, Kevin muttered quietly. But the longer he actually looked, the more familiar she seemed. When Vanessa turned around to talk, Kevin finally saw her gorgeous face clearly. The guy was completely dumbfounded. It was Vanessa, the exact girl from that confession wall photo. What the heck, he actually knew her. Vanessa and I just casually kept walking. Barely anyone actually noticed us today, mostly because Vanessa was wearing a baseball cap that completely hid half her face. We quickly started talking about what happened years ago when we parted ways. Senior Vanessa, where exactly did your family move after that? I visited our hometown a few times but never saw you. Call me Miss Vanessa, she playfully pouted, glaring like she was strictly reminding me of her earlier rule. I stayed totally silent. So many years had passed, so why did she still obsess over that specific title? Hearing me finally say it, Vanessa smiled with pure satisfaction. She did not mean anything weird. Now pay attention here. She simply loved me calling her that. Just saying Vanessa made her feel like the distance between us was way too formal. Our old neighborhood got completely demolished. I was starting high school, so my family moved to the East District for better convenience. The new house was incredibly far from our hometown, so we rarely returned. Then I got incredibly busy with high school, basically living on campus with barely any free time. Vanessa totally did not expect to bump into me. Nobody told her I got into Riverwood University. If she actually knew, she definitely would have been at the train station picking me up. So meeting together on campus just because I needed directions was pure, unbelievable random chance. I ended up asking the exact perfect person. One quick look and we instantly recognized each other. Maybe this was what people called destiny. On our way, Vanessa and I chatted non-stop. To outsiders, we totally looked like a couple or incredibly close siblings. But honestly, this made Kevin, who was awkwardly trailing behind us, feel completely and utterly invisible. No wonder back on the subway when Kevin hyped up her picture, I barely reacted at all. Bantering this easily right off the bat, we clearly were not casual acquaintances. Kevin started feeling a wild mix of hardcore jealousy and absolute admiration. Why did this guy Max get to be handsome and know a literal goddess? And to top it off, he never breathed a single word about her. Since when did these two actually know each other? Wait, Max would not seriously make him eat that literal dirt pile from their crazy bet, right? Kevin nervously thought to himself. From now on, absolutely zero reckless betting around Max. You saw that too, right? This guy hid massive secrets. 10 minutes later, Vanessa led me straight to Professor Davis's office to finish enrolling. Kevin, still tagging along like a sad lost puppy, also grabbed his student ID. I still have to help Professor Davis with freshman enrollment today, so I really do not have the time to give you a campus tour. I will take you around next time, okay? Vanessa said. No worries. I was planning to go sort out my dorm room anyway. Saying goodbye to Vanessa and Professor Davis, Kevin and I quickly left. At this point, Kevin finally got a real chance to speak up. Max, what is the actual deal with you and Vanessa? You guys seem incredibly close. Known her long. We were neighbors back in the day, so yeah, pretty close. Damn it, why is my neighbor a grandma who loves square dancing while yours is an absolute top-tier goddess? God, this is totally unfair. Kevin literally felt like the universe was rigged. His neighbor was a dancing grandma, and mine was stunning Vanessa. Entering the dorm building, Kevin and I parted ways because his room was downstairs while mine was definitely upstairs. Since I arrived early, there was only one other roommate waiting in the room, a guy named Leo. Turns out he was also a fellow homie from Lynn. We casually chatted while cleaning and wiping down the room. An hour later, the third roommate finally showed up. Before even seeing his face clearly, I instantly knew he was basically Kevin version 2.0. Holy crap, bros. Have you seen our new teaching assistant yet? Since I arrived early, I had only seen Professor Davis inside the main office. I did not even need to think to know he was raving about how hot Vanessa was. The teaching assistant is insanely gorgeous. Definitely the prettiest girl I have seen. Leo asked, the hyped guy, did you get her number? Trust me, you and I know what happens next. I was too busy staring. I even forgot to ask her name. After expressing his intense emotions, this roommate 30% handsome, 20% hot-headed, and 50% degenerate introduced himself. Sorry, got a little too excited. I am Tyler. The three of us cleaned the room, made our beds, and got everything completely sorted. But our fourth roommate still was missing. Stick with me to see this hilarious dorm life unfold today. Most guys show up checking in by afternoon anyway. We clicked immediately, totally hyped, and rushed straight toward the campus cafeteria for lunch. On the way, Leo questions Tyler again, asking what this teaching assistant really looks like to make him simp so hard. Tyler says it is super simple. Those flashy internet influencers or celebrities are total garbage compared to her. Pure, natural beauty without any filters. Give me details. How is she pretty? What was she even wearing? Maybe I bumped into her. Tyler sheepishly admits he only stared at her face. He completely missed her outfit. Tyler talked massive game but gave us absolutely zero useful information right there. Suddenly he turns toward me asking if I saw our gorgeous teaching assistant yet. Leo watches me too, noticing I am completely ignoring the hype. Yeah, I spotted her. She is very pretty, just like Tyler claimed. I knew Vanessa way too well. So even though she looked absolutely stunning, I was not going crazy over it like Tyler. Seeing my calm reaction, Leo figured Tyler was exaggerating. Is she seriously that gorgeous? Max calls her just pretty. You are definitely blowing things out of proportion. I swear she is breathtaking. Max seriously needs a vision test. I felt way too lazy to argue. How could my vision be checked? Since I was little, Vanessa hugged me more times than I could ever possibly count. Hitting the cafeteria, I suddenly got a text from Vanessa. Max, grab an extra lunch portion for me too. I am super busy right now. Okay. You want to swap that spicy tofu for tomato egg stir fry and keep everything else exactly the same, right? Vanessa grew up in Lynn and could never handle spicy food, so I automatically skipped the tofu. Now watch what happens when I sat with Leo and Tyler. They instantly got incredibly nosy. Hey Max, why buy 2 portions? Feeding someone special today. I replied completely naturally, trying to hide absolutely nothing, but Leo instantly smelled drama. Oh my God, please do not say you brought your girlfriend food. We literally just enrolled here today. Where would I find a girlfriend? I was totally speechless, but Leo just kept spinning wild theories. Maybe you two dated before and luckily got into the exact same university. The cafeteria is swamped today, so you conveniently grabbed her food. Makes perfect sense, right? Delivering his speech, Leo looked totally smug, like a genius detective solving a massive case. I refused to even argue with this fake Sherlock Holmes, simply putting my head down to eat. Trying to prove his wild theory, Leo turned toward Tyler, asking if he was totally right. Right, exactly. Tyler answered immediately without thinking twice. See, even Tyler completely agrees. Did you even check if he heard a single word you muttered? I pointed that fact out. Leo finally looked at Tyler, only to see this dude glued to all the pretty girls around the room. You know that feeling, right? His eyes were practically popping out. Hey, were you even listening to me? Totally. Tyler was still aggressively girl-watching. Then what did I just say? I know you asked if that upperclassman wearing the short skirt has really long legs, right? After dropping that line, Tyler turned back and excitedly yelled, I must admit her legs are super long, but maybe slightly too skinny. Leo was dumbfounded, but checking out girls was peak male bonding. Soon enough, Tyler dragged Leo right into it, debating which girl had the absolute best figure. Eating quietly, I watched these 2 morons acting like judges at a beauty pageant. Truly a pair of hidden idiots and crouching fools. Suddenly, my chubby buddy Kevin seemed like a much more decent guy. At least he was never as unhinged as these guys. I simply prayed our final roommate would act somewhat normal. I refused to join their silly pageant. After finishing my meal, I quickly told the idiots to take their time. I am heading back first. Watching me grab the takeout, Tyler asked Leo if Max was taking food back for dinner. You absolute idiot. So do you have some kind of emergency back at the dorm? Nope. I finished unpacking completely. Hearing that, Vanessa bit her chopsticks and smiled. Then stay and chat. Being completely alone is so boring. But this is Professor Davis's office, so it feels inappropriate to stay. I felt like staying here would not help anything, but Vanessa insisted I could easily help her out anyway. Plenty of freshmen are still coming to report this afternoon. Yeah, all right. Having absolutely nothing to do back at my dorm room, I ended up staying to help her. As the long afternoon dragged on, reporting students kept multiplying rapidly. Guys walking in were totally mesmerized by Vanessa's pure beauty, while girls just kept sneaking shy glances at me. Doing repetitive tasks made me incredibly bored, getting sleepier by the minute, nearly nodding off several times today. As evening finally approached, the crowd disappeared. Trust me, you and I would fall asleep too, bored out of my mind. I rested my head and accidentally drifted off. Vanessa completely missed it initially. Only quite a while later did she realize I was not moving anymore. Stick with me here, she walked close, spotted me sleeping, and almost woke me. But seeing my peaceful face, she paused. Sitting there quietly, she stared and whispered, "The tiny neighbor kid from back then, I honestly used to hug you every single day. Shame you actually moved away." After that, I only had my teddy bears to hug to sleep, Vanessa mumbled softly to herself. She had this stubborn habit. Without hugging something tight while sleeping, she'd get horrible insomnia. Suddenly staring right at me, a totally wild idea crossed her mind. If I just gave this kid a hug right now, it wouldn't matter, right? But she quickly shook her head instantly, throwing the crazy thought away. Nope, we're adults now. Hugging him is definitely inappropriate, but lightly teasing him should be totally fine. Vanessa stood up, stepped closer to me, and gently tapped my nose with her slim finger. That weird tickling sensation made me frown. Slowly opening my eyes, Vanessa was standing right in my face. Spooked, I nearly fell out of my chair. Miss Vanessa, what are you doing?" "Nope, you definitely called me the wrong name. Miss Vanessa, what were you actually doing just now?" "Nothing, just noticed it was getting dark and woke you." Resting her chin on her hand, she smiled warmly at me. But honestly, that smile gave me serious chills. What was she plotting? Get up. I need to lock this door and leave. Seeing me awake, Vanessa stopped teasing. Grabbing the documents on the desk, she told me to leave the office with her immediately. "You guys probably have a class meeting tonight, but I have my own class, so I can't go." "Miss Vanessa, you still take classes, aren't you basically a TA?" I was completely shocked. First time I ever heard teachers had to attend class. French class. It is nothing unusual. Many university lecturers still take classes to help with promotions or degrees. Only those senior professors about to retire like Professor Davis have tons of free time. Heading downstairs, Vanessa and I finally parted ways. Walking back to my dorm, that fourth bed was still empty. Its mysterious owner had not arrived. Now watch closely. The second I stepped into our assigned classroom, Leo blocked me. He aggressively interrogated me. "Where have you been all afternoon? Were you out picking up girls?" I sighed deeply. I was just helping my older sister out. She was a neighbor, basically an older sister, so saying that wasn't really a lie. Hearing it was my sister. Leo instantly calmed down, but instantly his crazy eyes gleamed and he excitedly asked, "So does your older sister have a boyfriend? Get lost, like you would ever be worthy." Shoving Leo aside, I grabbed my seat. The chaotic conversation finally returned to normal. "Our fourth roommate still has not shown up, huh? Guess he's delayed. By the way, what's Tyler doing? He has been dead silent." Hearing me ask, Leo finally realized Tyler had been quiet the entire time. Who knows, probably texting some cheap romantic fling. Suddenly Tyler, who had been completely silent, cursed loudly. "A cheap fling? You think I'd stoop that low?" Leo and I exchanged a look and said in unison, "Yeah, you would." At lunch, you were staring at gorgeous girls so hard you almost snapped your neck entirely backward. "Don't act high and mighty now." In my eyes, Tyler's image was already firmly cemented as a total absolute degenerate. Getting completely called out, he coughed softly to hide his sheer embarrassment. At lunch, I was merely preparing an absolutely magnificent project which I have successfully completed. What massive project could you possibly do? I didn't believe him for a second. But Tyler proudly declared after an entire afternoon of relentless grinding, I successfully completed the Riverwood University Goddess tier list. Seeing that Leo and I didn't look interested at all, Tyler felt awkward and quickly added, "I've gathered incredibly detailed info. I even know whether these top-tier beauties are single or totally taken. You know that? I know what you're thinking. Riverwood is a historic, prestigious school. How does a trashy goddess tier list even exist here? This is my personal tier list, basically way more accurate than that online garbage," Tyler loudly boasted. "Just look at this, Max. Absolute top-tier beauties," saying that he eagerly shoved his phone near us. Leo, who had never seen Vanessa before, got totally curious and leaned in. "Really, show me number one. The absolute peak is none other than our class TA." Leo stared at the photo, his eyes widening in pure, utter shock. "Damn, she is incredibly stunning." Max, you said she was just pretty. Are you blind? I never said she was just pretty. I said she's completely gorgeous. Hearing these two idiots debate over Vanessa right to my face, I was speechless. Then why was your reaction so incredibly weak? Look at the photo again, Leo urged. I already looked. What's the huge deal? Pretty is pretty. I stared at Vanessa all afternoon. Why would I need to stare at a photo unless I lost my mind? Keep pretending. Tyler was annoyed his effort wasn't getting the respect it deserved, but Leo was still incredibly hyped. Does our TA have a boyfriend? Tyler glanced at me and sighed. Unfortunately, no. But I heard a rumor she actually has one. Your list is basically fake news, I countered. And that's where we leave it. Leo completely bought it, asking heartbrokenly which lucky bastard actually bagged her. Let's jump into this hilarious rumor mill I heard from some guys that Vanessa hosted the freshmen alongside a really handsome dude. I totally lost it. Hearing that, I completely cracked up and sprayed water absolutely everywhere. Max, what are you doing? Do not choke. Leo and Tyler laughed and kept gossiping. Then they brought up the second campus goddess Vivian, calling her super cold single and totally unapproachable. I totally tuned out their nonsense. Obviously, I was the guy hosting freshmen with Vanessa, but somehow that simple fact had randomly morphed into a crazy rumor that we were dating. Campus rumors really do not need any proof. Just as Leo was about to call Tyler his master from sheer admiration, the door swung open. All three of us quickly turned to look. A guy with blonde hair and blue eyes stood in the doorway looking exactly like a Western doll, or honestly a literal Ken doll. Hello, I am Louis. I will be your roommate. His Chinese had a heavy accent, but honestly his pronunciation was quite decent. The three of us were completely stunned. Nobody actually expected an international student as our roommate. I reacted first. Hey, so nice to meet you. The other two quickly chimed in. Things felt slightly stiff at first, but within minutes our dorm room was totally buzzing with lively chatter. Watch this dynamic unfold. He smiled. I lived in Riverwood before, so do not treat me like a newbie, Louis said with pure enthusiasm. Leo instantly asked, so do you speak French? Tyler rolled his eyes. He is French, and you ask if he speaks French. What does he speak Martian? I do speak French, but my Chinese is not perfect yet. I will absolutely need you guys to teach me. Tyler was about to volunteer as his tutor, but I quickly cut him off. I got this. I will teach Louis Chinese and even some Cantonese too. And Louis, you can teach me French, deal. Honestly, my sudden desire to learn French just sparked completely out of thin air. Maybe because Vanessa was studying French, or perhaps it was just a random impulse. Even I was not entirely sure. The very next day kicked off our military training. The scorching heat was so incredibly brutal it almost destroyed me. Louis, on the other hand, literally fainted. The second he collapsed, a massive swarm of girls just rushed over. Thankfully, the strict drill instructors stepped in to maintain order. After resting up in the infirmary, Louis happily returned to the field just in time for break. See, I totally told you to put on sunscreen this morning and you ignored me. First thing this morning, I reminded everyone to wear sunscreen, but Louis completely refused. He thought he was tough enough and honestly did not care about getting a tan. The result, he fainted. Seeing Louis walk back, Leo instantly started teasing him. Louis, how did it feel getting swarmed by all those girls earlier? I was literally unconscious. How would I even know? Louis answered innocently. Tyler squeezed in, holding a water bottle. Do not even dream about it. A chance like that will never happen to you. Master Tyler, have you ever been swarmed by girls? Tyler put on a smug face and confidently declared, Me? Well, of course not. We all know what happens next, right? While they were bickering, that cold goddess Vivian walked right over, clearly planning to sit directly next to Louis. Tyler playfully winked. See, someone is already shooting their shot. Leo was way too exhausted to stand up, but Vivian just looked down and bluntly said, Excuse me, move over. Leo glared at her, annoyed. There is plenty of open space, why steal my spot? But being a total pushover, he just sighed and gave up his seat anyway. Not stopping there, Vivian turned to me. You move over too. I just stared at her, completely annoyed. I am not in your way, I am sitting here. Do you own this entire field or something? Dream on, lady. Holy crap. Absolute badass. Tyler immediately clapped, praising my sheer audacity to talk back so bluntly. Vivian was completely stunned. Probably to save her wounded pride, she put on an arrogant front. Whatever. I was not looking for you anyway. I just ignored her and looked away. It was painfully obvious she wanted to chat up Louis, but he had zero interest and just walked away. Suddenly, a massive commotion instantly drew the entire field's attention. Everyone forgot the drama as their eyes locked onto the main entrance. A beautiful girl walked right in from the entrance, heading straight toward class number 3. The scorching heat makes people super irritable, but looking at her, everyone felt instantly refreshed. The whole field watched her, absolutely dying to know who she wanted. Leo and Tyler stared so hard their jaws literally hit the floor. It was Vanessa, the teaching assistant for class 3. The closer she got, the wider their eyes bugged out. Remembering my super nonchalant attitude about Vanessa yesterday, a completely wild thought flashed through their minds. Was she looking for someone in class 3? Dozens of guys started daydreaming she was looking for them, even just to pass a simple message. Even some girls thought the same. But right at that moment, I waved my hand. Vanessa immediately spotted me. "Trust me, you are going to love this." The entire field stared secretly, thinking, "Who is this guy?" "Stick with me, you are about to see how a simple little wave changes everything." Vanessa actually walked right over. With everyone staring in absolute shock, she sat right down next to me. "Miss Vanessa, why are you here?" "Nothing much, just came to see you." She handed me some cold lemonade to cool off. Seeing her about to sit on the dirt, I quickly stood up and offered her my spot. "Here, use my hat." "No way it will make me too warm." I laughed. "What kind of hat makes you hot? This thing feels cheaper than a basic floor rag anyway. But hey, using it as a seat cushion is way better than absolutely nothing." Vanessa just laughed and took the spot I just left. Sitting right across from her, I caught this incredibly nice faint scent drifting my way. Honestly, I was so distracted that I completely forgot about the whole hot seat issue. "How is the dorm?" "All good, very good. 4 guys, private bathroom." "Miss Vanessa, where are you living now?" I asked out of pure curiosity, zero weird motives. She just smiled. "Do you mean my usual spot or my parents' house?" "My parents are in this Pearl district now. I rent a little place right by the university and stay there most days." We chatted so smoothly without a single ounce of awkwardness. To anyone watching us, we seriously looked incredibly close. Crazy whispers started breaking out everywhere. "Who is that dude? How on earth is he so tight with the goddess?" Vanessa was super popular, but since I literally just enrolled here, most of my new classmates had zero clue who I was. Now pay attention, because our boy is about to become incredibly famous across the entire campus. Vanessa hung out for a while, then finally stood up to leave the field. "It is too hot. I am heading back. Training is exhausting. Get some sleep tonight. Bye." I waved back. Watching her walk away, I turned and shot a sideways glance right at Vivian, my eyes filled with a total hint of mockery. Vivian bit her lip, frozen, feeling like she just got totally humiliated and lost face. She did not even try talking to Louis anymore and just stormed off completely. Afternoon training just flew right by. Back in the dorm, Louis asked in total surprise, "Are you guys not starving? Why is nobody talking about dinner?" "We will go in a bit," Leo answered. Right then, Tyler pulled a pack of instant noodles straight out of his locker. "I have noodles. No need for the cafeteria." "Bro, we literally just started school 2 days ago, and you are already surviving on ramen. Are you not scared your life expectancy will drop?" I realized Tyler was honestly a totally different breed. "It is just for tonight. Plus, noodles are super fast. I will eat this now and we can grab some late-night snacks later on." Tyler's logic honestly made perfect sense. Leo, who was aggressively gaming hard, randomly yelled out, "Master Tyler, please cook a pack for me too." "Cook it yourself. I am not doing it." "Come on, just do it for your son." One claimed to be the dad while the other instantly begged. What a wild duo. Tyler then asked if Louis and I wanted to grab any. I passed, but Louis was super curious. He had seen instant noodles but never actually tried them. Growing up rich, he never had the chance. So he tried some braised beef noodles and instantly fell in love. This is seriously amazing. But wait, there is one major flaw here. What flaw? There is zero beef in here. Why call it braised beef noodles? It honestly feels like complete false advertising. You and I know he lived overseas, where scamming gets companies sued into total bankruptcy. I laughed. There has to be some beef dust in there somewhere. It is completely normal. Leo chimed in. "Yeah, wife cake does not actually have a wife inside it, right?" Hearing Leo speak up, Tyler glanced over. "Why is your locker completely full of pickled cabbage noodles? They are good, just a different flavor, that is all." I decided to tease him. "Do you not know that cabbage is stomped by bare feet?" After poking fun, I finally stood up and headed right out. That ramen smell in the room was honestly making me absolutely starve. I decided to hit the cafeteria hoping it was not too crowded and just grab some quick dinner. But halfway there, my phone buzzed with a text from Vanessa. "Did you eat yet?" "Not yet, heading there now." I honestly thought she wanted me to bring her food again. But surprisingly, she texted, "Come right to the campus gate. My coworkers and I are going out to grab food. I will take you." I rolled my eyes. "Miss Vanessa, you are going out with coworkers. Why would I crash that?" Vanessa instantly replied, "It is not just eating. I really need you to help me with one single thing." "Help with what exactly?" "Come to the gate first." "Texting is way too slow. Hurry up. I will get a ticket if I park here." She even added, "Remember to change your clothes." I stared right at the text, completely bewildered. So what do you and I make of this? Smells like a trap, right? But even though I hesitated, I still had to go. Following her instructions, I finally reached the campus gate and spotted her white Audi. I quickly hopped right into the passenger seat. She reminded me to buckle up and started driving while talking. "Miss Vanessa, what exactly do you need help with?" I swished some mouthwash as she spoke. Vanessa casually replied, "I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend tonight." I almost choked right then, barely stopping myself from spitting mouthwash all over her ride. Grabbing a tissue, I stared at her, completely stunned. "Stick with me here. Are you actually serious? You want me playing fake boyfriend tonight?" I thought my ears were completely broken. Vanessa sighed. "Some guys at work keep chasing me. No matter how many times I shut them down, they just keep pushing. So to dodge the drama, just act like we are dating for one evening." She had rejected them completely, but these guys were totally delusional, believing that since she was single, they still had a shot. She never wanted to attend this dinner party, but since her bestie Lucy and others were going, she simply could not bail. Hearing that, I felt super awkward. If rumors start flying around, will it not totally wreck your odds of finding a real guy? Do not stress about me. It changes absolutely nothing. I still sensed something sketchy, but I could not figure it out exactly. While I was overthinking, Vanessa chimed in. "Or are you just scared this will ruin your own dating life?" "No, not even a little bit." I quickly shook my head, denying it. Stopped at a red light, Vanessa smiled right at me. "Deal is set. Tonight, remember, you are my guy." "Wait, should I drop the formalities? Calling you miss while acting like your boyfriend feels totally bizarre." She laughed. "That is fine. Boyfriends can still use it. Total strangers call me that too. So yeah, do not even worry. Honestly, these social events are not my vibe, mostly because I only knew Vanessa there. It is super easy to feel totally out of place. Now pay close attention here. We walked right into this fancy private room and instantly every single face at the table stared. Vanessa flashed an apologetic smile. "Sorry we are late." This guy Gary saw her beaming smile, but his own grin instantly vanished when he spotted me, some random kid walking in right behind her. Everyone knew Vanessa actively avoided guys and stayed single. Yet tonight, she confidently brought a dude with her. The message was loud and clear. She definitely had a soft spot for me. That realization alone made Gary and the other dudes feel completely defeated. I just smiled and waved back. Gary gave a stiff, polite nod, but deep down, the guy was absolutely seething. He gave me a quick scan and instantly felt superior seeing my basic clothes. I mean, he was rocking designer gear and a $200,000 Rolex. Suddenly, Gary felt way better about himself. He stood up, pulling out a chair. "Vanessa, have a seat," she nodded, turning to me. "We will sit here together, perfect." Gary was totally blindsided. Vanessa took the spot he wanted, and I grabbed the exact chair he just pulled out for her. Boom! Gary just froze there, clueless. Vanessa blinked. "What is wrong? Were these spots for us?" "No way." Gary nervously laughed. "Just a mix-up." I smiled. "Thanks for the awesome seats, bro." "Oh, man." Gary swallowed his massive pride and shuffled to the absolute opposite side, sitting as far from Vanessa as humanly possible. While Gary threw silent tantrums, the female teachers at our table were completely obsessed with figuring me out. Women always love juicy drama. You know how it goes? Her coworkers were convinced I was this cute younger guy and an absolutely perfect match. Lucy, the reigning gossip queen, practically buzzed with excitement. "Vanessa, is this cute kid your actual boyfriend? Take a wild guess." Vanessa tried shutting it down, but Lucy refused to quit. "Come on, drop a name, I need to know him." "Why are you so nosy anyway? He is not here for you." Vanessa desperately wanted the interrogation to end, but Lucy was a chatterbox. Out of ideas, she finally dropped a tiny clue. "He is a freshman in my class. Professor Davis teaches him. Now stop making crazy assumptions." If we were not in public, Lucy would have screamed. Vanessa, seriously, wow. He just became legally an adult. How did you even reel him in? Vanessa rarely lost her cool, but Lucy was next level. She sighed hard. Quit chatting nonsense. We are old childhood neighbors. Oh, sweet childhood romance. But wait, you are 6 years older. That trope is weird, right? Can you just zip it? Just eat. Luckily, the food finally arrived and Lucy happily zipped her lips. Everyone started chatting naturally over dinner. I kept quiet since I was practically a stranger to the group. Then Gary suddenly targeted me. Max, do you drink? Let us toast. Vanessa frowned. Gary was totally trying to embarrass me. I just started college, so my tolerance was practically on the floor. A 30-year-old challenging an 18-year-old kid shameless. But trust me, you are gonna love my reaction. I nodded. Sure. Seeing me play along, Gary flashed a huge smile and personally poured my glass. His buddies raised their glasses and chugged. I instantly saw right through Gary's whole setup. He wanted me totally wasted, hoping I'd act like a fool or just pass out and embarrass myself completely. Stick with me, this sneaky plan was smart because I agreed, so he escapes all blame. But Gary completely underestimated my crazy tolerance. Glass after glass, Gary himself started fading fast. Me, I stayed wide awake, just casually chatting with Vanessa. By the end of it all, 4 guys at the table were completely out cold. I was definitely the last man standing. My steps were a little wobbly, but my brain was still working perfectly. At first, Vanessa was pretty annoyed by their obnoxious behavior. But watching these guys literally drink themselves under the table trying to beat me, she could barely hold back her giggles. Later on, I needed an escort back to the dorms. Vanessa tried to hold me up, but shockingly, I pushed away. I can walk fine. Teen guys love acting tough, especially while tipsy. Pretending I was totally fine when I could barely find the exit, I stubbornly insisted on walking alone. I nearly slammed straight into a brick wall. Thankfully, Vanessa moved lightning fast and caught me saving my face. Let me walk you. She gently grabbed my wrist. I was totally going to argue, but with her holding my hand, my already flushed face turned absolutely tomato red. Okay, let us go, I muttered softly, following her out. You and I know that tension Lucy watched from afar, so hyped she actually covered her mouth. A sweet but bossy Vanessa. That was totally new. Stepping out of the hotel, the drinks hit me hard. I could barely see straight anymore. Thanks to Vanessa, I got stuffed into the passenger seat and instantly passed out cold. Arriving at the campus gates, she watched me sleeping soundly and really did not want to ruin it. But leaving me in the car was bad, so she gently tapped my shoulder. Max, wake up. Vanessa spoke so softly, her cool hand gently patting my super red face. A second later, I groggily opened my eyes, my heavy head feeling like a bowling ball. I slowly struggled upright. Seeing Vanessa standing right outside the open car door, I just stared. Blame the drinks, but to me, her face had this gorgeous, glowing warmth. Her normally elegant, slightly icy vibe suddenly looked incredibly sweet and totally endearing. I suddenly felt exactly like a kid again, looking at the old Vanessa who always loved teasing me. Like some spirit possessed me, I randomly blurted out, Vanessa, in this super soft, affectionate voice. Vanessa completely froze, eyes going wide before her lips slowly curled into the prettiest smile. Oh, dropping my name so casually now, are we? Why are you usually so stubborn? She quietly muttered to herself, reaching out to gently pinch my warm cheek. Come on, let us walk to your dorm for some sleep. Stepping out, a sudden cool breeze smacked my face, waking up my brain just a little bit. Hey, at least I stopped staggering. Why did you suddenly just say my name? Vanessa asked curiously, her gentle voice practically dripping with hidden amusement. Still riding that buzz, I awkwardly scratched my head, weirdly brave enough to actually drop the honest truth. Now watch closely. Seeing me stutter, she knew my guard was totally down. If I was completely sober, I definitely would have played dumb. Plus, what was there to hide with nobody else around? Come on, tell me, she happily pushed. Cornered like that, I scratched my head like an idiot and confessed. When I was out, I had a dream about us as little kids. Vanessa totally burst out laughing. Makes sense, childhood was awesome. I could just grab you for a huge hug or a piggyback ride whenever I wanted. Now, no way, you are a giant. I could not lift you at all. I just laughed dumbly. Right at that perfect second, we reached the bottom of my dorm. Vanessa could not enter, meaning I had to brave the stairs totally solo. But seeing my wobbly stance, she worried. Should I call your buddies to drag you up? I waved her off. No worries, I got this. I played it cool and walked off, but 3 steps later, my foot completely slipped and I almost ate concrete. Vanessa let out a shocked gasp. I instantly spun around, flashing a goofy smile. Totally fine, I am good. Vanessa rolled her eyes, thinking, yeah, right. She stood frozen there watching until my shadow completely vanished upstairs before finally heading back to her car. Sitting alone, a wild thought suddenly hit her. Wait, why did I not just take him to my place? No, that is a terrible idea. I would seem like some creepy older sister crossing the line. Meanwhile, I stumbled into my dorm room, still absolutely toasted. Ignoring the loud wave of questions from my 3 roommates, I crashed into bed and passed out cold. The next morning, during our boot camp break, the squad huddled up. Leo wasted 0 time launching his fierce interrogation. Max, where exactly did you vanish to last night? You just went to the cafeteria. Why were you missing so long and came back totally wasted? Before I could even speak, Tyler smirked. Let me guess you went to eat with Vanessa, right? So what do you and I make of this? Was I bugged? I never told anyone. How did they crack the case? Who even needs spy gear? Let's dive into this madness. Hearing me admit it. Leo looked totally baffled. Aren't you basically siblings? Why go out to eat together? Who said we're actually related? Neighbors call each other that too. Honestly, I explained everything clearly to stop any crazy, wild rumors. Leo nodded, but before he could dig deeper, Tyler suddenly pushed him away. Stop asking pointless stuff. Leave this to me. Then he just started spitting pure nonsense. What kind of shady couples restaurant did you guys visit last night? Did something wild happen? Hearing about couples spots, Louis jumped in. Riverwood actually has this awesome couples spot. It features private romance rooms perfectly hidden from everyone outside. I was just completely left speechless. How did things derail so fast? Leo and Tyler turned toward Louis, intensely curious. Wait, how do you know about that? Do you have a girlfriend? Leo was hyped. Louis is your girl, an international student. Any cute friends you could introduce us to, landing a Western girl would be the ultimate flex. Nope, I do not have a girlfriend. I simply noticed an ad billboard while walking past, Louis replied innocently. Leo instantly slumped down in pure disappointment. Tyler leaned in real close and kept interrogating me. Max, where did you two actually go last night? Come on, tell us. We swear we won't spill any secrets. I shoved his face away. I went to a dinner party with Vanessa last night. It absolutely wasn't some stupid romantic date like you crazy morons are thinking. What party? Just with her coworkers and friends. Probably mostly lecturers or local teaching assistants. Leo's eyes sparked. Now watch this scheme. Damn, you have amazing connections. During finals, you better put in a solid word for us. Exactly, if we are ever about to fail a class, you have to beg for mercy. I was completely exhausted with these 2 idiots, but I still texted Vanessa just to test the waters. Hey, if I accidentally fail a class, can you save me? Nope, but I will personally supervise your homework every single day. That way you absolutely won't fail. Come on, can't you let me slack off a little bit? If you want to slack off, I am telling your mom. Those 2 weeks of military training passed by in absolute pure agony. During that exact time, learning French with Louis became my relaxing entertainment. Louis saw his Chinese improve, or honestly, it got way more street. That credit didn't just belong to me. Like right now, Louis was gaming with Leo, aggressively screaming, "Damn!" and badass with perfect local attitude. At first, Louis wasn't addicted to video games, but after being dragged into it by our entire room, he became obsessed. What even is this? Louis got instantly sniped and couldn't stop cursing. His heavily accented Chinese swearing was absolutely hilarious, completely breaking me. Laughing out loud, Tyler asked Max, what exactly are you teaching Louis? Why blame me? I taught him damn, but who taught him the dirty words? You guys did. It was totally Leo. He plays all day screaming and loudly insulting the opponent's entire family trees. Leo, raging at his game, heard Tyler throw him under the bus and angrily snapped right back. Do not act all holy now. Who got punished to run 5 laps recently for pissing off the drill instructor and then continuously cursed about it for the entire night. If not, you must be a ghost. You know exactly how this goes. Watching them argue. I just sighed. Neither of you is innocent. Stop hyping yourselves up. I turned to Louis. Take a break if you are tilted. Teach me a few creative French insults. No, I need to play another round. I haven't carried anyone today yet. Clearly, Louis was getting very heavily addicted. Playing with these two, do not even dream about carrying Max. What is that supposed to mean? Leo and Tyler protested simultaneously. We are legitimately better than you guys. Stop capping. If you are so good, carry us. Properly provoked, I decided to prove my epic skills, the result. After playing a little bit, I got absolutely addicted to even learning extra French curses from Louis. By nightfall, our entire class was notified to gather for the committee elections. The four of us finally abandoned our computers, heading straight to the meeting room. On the way, Louis sadly sighed. Man, I almost carried that last game. I'm exhausted. I will duo with you later. Let those two just play by themselves. In that final game, we were definitely about to win. I fiercely took out two and Louis grabbed one. Only one single enemy remained. Yet Louis threw a grenade that knocked me down while Tyler accidentally shot Louis. Ultimately, that lone enemy managed to clutch a 1 versus 4. I was so furious, practically blowing smoke. Playing with these guys was honestly way more exhausting than actual military training. Arriving at the election meeting, my mind was elsewhere. I honestly still could not fathom how we lost that game. Even if I literally put 2 pigs in front of those keyboards, I could have easily carried them to a win. But Tyler was super fired up, aggressively campaigning for class president, even desperately begging us to vote for him. I nodded just to humor him, thinking if this psycho had a real job, he would act less unhinged. While scrolling through my phone in pure boredom, Vanessa suddenly texted, "Why aren't you running for a committee spot?" "Because it's hard work for zero reward." Who says being on the committee makes it much easier to secure scholarships? My dad says class committees are unpaid labor. What do you think, scholarships aren't even that much money anyway? Stick with me here, I definitely inherited my dad's extreme laziness matching his vibe. Soon the crazy class election began. To keep everything fair, Vanessa played the strict teacher role, only watching quietly. Since I wasn't running anyway, she sat right beside me silently. Meanwhile, Tyler was an absolute speaking genius. For a simple class election, he dropped an epic speech making Louis a massive fanboy. But the wild part, in a room packed full of guys, our social butterfly Tyler somehow lost. Vivian barely beat him by a crazy thin margin of votes. Without even seeing the exact votes, I already knew some guys totally simped hard for Vivian, our ultimate class beauty. Master Tyler, do not sweat it. Next time for sure. I tried comforting him, but it felt totally useless. He grumbled, "Those who didn't vote for me are blind." My legendary speech was totally wasted. Louis completely agreed, nodding along. "It is a massive tragedy Master Tyler lost out." I felt Napoleon's aura radiating off him. We are so totally doomed, I thought. Louis will soon be completely brainwashed by these two absolute morons. While walking, my phone rang. Vanessa's voice called out, "Max, come help me out with something real fast. I will buy you great food later, I will help, but definitely skip that second part. I am 18, not 8 years old. Stop bribing me with snacks." Hearing her, I literally felt exactly like a helpless little toddler. Watch closely with me. Then what should I offer myself? "Okay, fine, I am coming right over." Totally teased by Vanessa, I admitted defeat and walked to the classroom. She and Lucy were passing out textbooks. 30 minutes later, all books were done, but the leftovers still needed a complete and full inventory check. Vanessa handled the paperwork while Lucy and I cleaned up. "Miss Vanessa, do teaching assistants actually have to do all this?" "Yeah," she replied, writing. "We lack teachers. If we do not do it, who will?" Glancing at my broom, she smiled. "Once I become a full lecturer, this kind of grunt work will not be my problem anymore," Lucy complained while grabbing trash. "Hey Vanessa, once you finish writing, help us clean up a bit." Lucy just blurted that out, fully expecting the lazy Vanessa to definitely refuse. She was only venting, but surprisingly tonight, Vanessa actually nodded. "Sure, Max and I will clean up. Lucy, head home first." Seriously, highly suspicious Lucy totally thought she was being pranked. She only believed it when Vanessa literally took the broom from her hand. "Why would I lie? If you want to go home and play games, just leave." Vanessa completely knew Lucy just wanted to go lounge and game all night. "Thanks a million," she loudly cheered. Lucy happily turned away but froze after one single step, sensing major danger. "Wait, there is a huge problem here." She spun around, glancing from me to Vanessa. Then she immediately jumped to block Vanessa's view of me sweeping. "You and I completely see Lucy's logic. What are you plotting? Did you want to be totally alone with Max? Stop making wild guesses. Leave or stay, your choice. I will go, but confess first." Our #1 gossip queen Lucy demanded a confession, but Vanessa completely ignored her. "Nothing to admit here. Leave now or just keep sweeping the floor." "I am going to sit and rest, leaving right now." Faced with more sweeping, Lucy dropped the drama and bolted. But walking away after a few steps, her curiosity flared up again. Sneaking her head back around the door to spy, Vanessa instantly caught her completely red-handed right in the act. Vanessa stood absolutely speechless, her eyebrow twitching. "Are you leaving or what? Just looking?" Lucy laughed awkwardly and finally ran away. Refusing to give up, she actually circled behind the building, planning to peep right through our window. The second she peeked, I was stacking up cardboard boxes and yelled, "Miss Lucy, what are you doing out there?" Vanessa heard my shout and looked over, absolutely speechless. "Oh, nothing. It is nothing. Busted twice." Lucy laughed awkwardly and sprinted off forever. But honestly, she was half right. Vanessa totally shooed her away just to be alone with me. Nothing shady though, just wanting a totally normal conversation. With Lucy there, her endless, non-stop questions would completely stop us from saying a single word. "Anyway, Max, does your mom still teach high school? What is up? I figured if your mom taught elementary or middle school, I could easily visit. But high school teachers are always super incredibly busy." Vanessa has always really respected my mom. Suddenly, a text hit her phone. The department head needed those extra books brought to the office. "Miss, I am taking these straight up to the department head. I will be right back. If you finish cleaning, just rest a bit. I will lock up everything." After she left, I gathered the last trash and sat down to rest. 10 minutes later, she returned, finding me fast asleep. "That is exactly where you and I leave today's episode." She quietly walked over, just watching me. I definitely inherited my parents' perfect good looks. Let's dive in. Without Louis, the new French guy, you and I both know I'd be the ultimate campus heartthrob chased by upperclassmen girls. But honestly, Vanessa thought this was way better. Less drama. She sat right across from me, resting her chin on her hand. Her lips barely moved as she whispered, "C'est mignon," meaning so cute. I wasn't fully asleep. Hearing her, I cracked my eyes open. Feeling playful, Vanessa saw me half awake and purposely repeated, "C'est mignon." This time I heard it clearly, groggily, asking her, "What did you say?" Vanessa's French was flawless. Meanwhile, I had just started learning and was half asleep, so I didn't even recognize it was French at all. "Nothing. Why are you so sleepy today?" She smiled sweetly, secretly laughing to herself because I completely missed her little joke. "Probably skipped my noon nap. Let's go grab a late-night snack. Consider it a nice walk." Vanessa locked the classroom, leading me out the gates. On the way, I couldn't stop thinking about her words. "Miss Vanessa, you were speaking French, right?" We bought some late-night barbecue together, and then I headed straight back to my dorm. Walking in, I handed out skewers to my 3 roommates, completely blocking their nosy questions with food. While they chewed, I quickly asked Louis, "I'm gonna say a French phrase. Translate it for me." "Sure." I pondered for a second, recalling Vanessa's voice. I said, "C'est mignon, what does it mean?" Louis just completely blanked out. "Now watch this." Tyler completely lost it, spitting grilled meat into the trash while cracking up. "Max, is that how you learn French?" "Get out of here, I've only been learning for 2 weeks. I gritted my teeth, but honestly, my pronunciation was absolute garbage. "Hold on, my pronunciation was probably super off. Let me try it again." I repeated it a few times. Louis just got way more confused, seriously doubting if I was even speaking French. Leo and Tyler were practically rolling on the floor. "I'm crying. Stop learning, my stomach hurts." My eyebrow twitched in sheer annoyance. Luckily, Louis thought about it for a second and realized, "You mean c'est mignon, right?" "Yes, exactly." I nodded enthusiastically like I had found my savior. "What's it mean?" Louis explained, "It means very cute." I nodded, thinking back to that moment, wondering why Vanessa suddenly said that. Leo chimed in, "Why ask that right after coming back? Who exactly said that to you?" I just heard it and was curious. "You vanished after the class meeting. Are you a magician? Did the food in your hands just drop from the sky?" Leo realized I got late-night snacks, but Tyler was sharper. "Hold on, Max. You went alone without us. Something shady is going on." Leo totally agreed. "Yeah, you're acting super sus." I replied, "I ate with a high school friend. What's the big deal? Really think we're easily fooled?" Though completely suspicious, Leo couldn't prove a thing and dropped it. Tyler, however, wasn't buying it at all. "Who randomly asks about a flirty French phrase? I know exactly what you're thinking right now." Clearly, a girl said it. Given my huge interest, it was likely Vanessa. If he knew she spoke French, he'd completely confirm this wild theory. His deduction was totally flawless. Thinking about it, Tyler laughed aloud. To us 3, he looked absolutely insane. "Is Tyler sick?" Louis asked. "Yeah, terminal." I nodded. Tyler realized he was acting way too extra, coughed twice to cover his embarrassment, and finally acted normal again. Meanwhile, Vanessa also brought barbecue home. The second she entered, she heard Lucy screaming over her game. "Oh my God, I lost again." Lucy frustratingly threw her headphones down as Vanessa handed her the food. "Take a break and eat. Late-night snacks." Seeing food, Lucy instantly forgot about her game. But this total gossip queen couldn't keep her mouth shut, firing off questions even while eating. What did you guys do? Talked. What else? That's it. Just talking impossible. Tell me. No one else is here. I keep secrets. Remember how you sleep on your stomach? I'm still the only one who knows. Vanessa was truly helpless against her. I swear we just talked and had a little snack. Really? Lucy was still super skeptical, but seeing she wasn't getting anywhere, she quickly changed the subject. Since when do you and Max know each other? Never heard about him. We're not together like that. Stop the nonsense. We just reconnected during enrollment. Trust me, you and I definitely want to see what happens next. Terrified Lucy might spread rumors, Vanessa quickly summarized our past. So you two have been separated this entire time. You are basically total strangers, right? Pretty much. Besides our faces, we know almost zero about each other. Trust me, 10 years is a long time. You and I know Vanessa basically knew nothing about the current me. Lucy smirked. So raising a cute younger boyfriend now. Who said boyfriend? Stop talking garbage. Then why act so close? You barely speak 3 sentences to other guys. I am genuinely just looking after a younger brother right now. He just started college. Bullies might target him. Vanessa grabbed a completely random excuse. Expect me to buy that nonsense? Believe it or not, your choice. Vanessa swore we were purely innocent, but Lucy wasn't exactly easily convinced. Honestly, just like when I told my roommates Vanessa and I were friendly neighbors, absolutely nobody believed me. Right then, Tyler finally stepped out, leaving our dorm room 1 person short for a full gaming squad. While everyone prepped to sleep, that annoying topic resurfaced again. Leo smirked at me. You actually expect us to believe your crazy story today? If you two are purely platonic, I will eat this desk, he asked Lewis. Believing Max's nonsense? I do, Lewis replied incredibly sincerely without any hint of sarcasm. I totally seized the chance to strike back. See, only you spout nonsense. Vanessa and I just talked. Bumping into someone you know and catching up is not completely normal. Leo could not argue, pivoting to convince Lewis. How can Max and Vanessa be purely innocent? Is just talking that normal? Yeah, totally normal. Lewis nodded. In Europe, close friends literally hug when meeting up. They did not even hug. Thanks to completely different cultural norms, Lewis felt Vanessa and I were not even close. Leo did not know how to accurately explain it, blurting out, "No, you cannot use European logic to judge things. I know things are different, but Max and Miss Vanessa were not acting like a couple at all." Leo drew a total blank. You and I are going to enjoy this counterattack. Your mindset is totally warped. You are sprouting junk. Wait until Master Tyler returns. He will not believe you. Right on cue, the door finally opened. Speak of the devil. Leo was totally thrilled, like he just struck gold, but Tyler absolutely did not care. He immediately collapsed into a nearby chair. Master Tyler, where exactly did you go? You look like your soul got completely sucked out. Picking up a package, barely made it before closing. What did you buy needing such a massive box? Instant noodles. Seriously, school barely started and you are already stockpiling instant ramen. Leo was absolutely stunned. If forced to eat ramen every single day, he would literally go crazy. Sitting right on his bed, he asked Tyler, "Are you already completely out of allowance money? Why eat ramen at the semester's very beginning?" Usually during the first college month, students have plenty of extra cash because their generous families send them more. Plus, Tyler's clothes were not cheap and his Alienware laptop cost thousands. He absolutely did not look broke. You guys do not get it. Tyler looked incredibly smug. We have 8 a.m. classes 3 days weekly. I bought quick ramen for breakfast. Wake up quickly, cook noodles, wash up, then eat immediately. Why not just wake up early and hit the busy cafeteria? Lewis asked completely innocently. That innocent question hit Tyler right in the soul. You are lucky you never study foreign languages, so you avoid waking up insanely early. How are we supposed to wake up early? Tomorrow morning, the loud dorm alarm will ring. I will turn it off, sleep more, then wake up right before being late. Monday morning went exactly as Tyler brilliantly predicted. All 3 of our obnoxious alarms went off repeatedly starting around 7:30 a.m., but literally no one got up immediately. With only 15 minutes remaining, we all finally sprang frantically out of bed. Leo stole Tyler's noodles. I completely skipped breakfast, hastily washed my face, and sprinted straight to class. Let's pause. We all know this chaotic rush. Slumping into the back row, I watched Leo and Tyler still furiously arguing over stolen ramen. Highly annoying considering I just desperately wanted to sleep. Suddenly, the entire classroom fell completely silent. I honestly did not care, thinking I could finally grab some sleep, but Leo aggressively shook me awake. Max, do not sleep, look up, what? Stop ruining my sleep. I snapped back, already cranky from waking up early. Look at our English teacher. It was Vanessa. So what? Just let me sleep. I completely refused to lift my head totally, forgetting her threat to tell my mom if I slacked. The entire class except me was buzzing with pure excitement. Even though early classes were annoying, having a young, stunningly beautiful teacher absolutely changed everything. Today, Vanessa wore a perfectly fitted white dress, her hair flowing gorgeously natural with strands tucked neatly behind her ears. She firmly held teaching materials against her chest. Her long, slender legs shone under that stunning dress, while her cute brown sandals clicked softly as she confidently stepped right onto the classroom podium. She casually blew dust off the desk, set her books down, and quickly opened the attendance QR code right on the big screen. Scan this attendance code. I am turning it off in exactly 5 minutes. Late or absent means point deductions. Everyone frantically scanned. Trust me, you will love what happens next. Let's jump in. I vaguely heard it scanned the code and instantly face-planted onto my desk, totally ignoring Vanessa. But stick with me. This is where it gets funny. From the corner, Vanessa just kept staring. She wondered how late did this guy stay up to be this exhausted. Yep, for the entire class, I never lifted my head once. During break, Leo and Tyler whined, saying Max was so tight with Vanessa that his English grade was totally locked in. Some guys just have all the insane luck. How is that possible? As we talked, Vanessa walked right over, scaring the living daylights out of those two guys. They pretended they needed the restroom and bolted away. Then Vanessa sat down right next to me and gently nudged my shoulder. Wake up. Stop sleeping. Her voice was actually super gentle and soothing, but I was way too lazy to get up and just grumbled back. Seeing me ignore her, Vanessa just smiled and softly mumbled exactly like when we were kids. She gently pulled one of my arms away, using her other hand to softly support my heavy head. Come on up, you go. I groggily opened my eyes, saw Vanessa's absolutely stunning face, and my brain totally short-circuited. I just stared, sparking silent outrage across the entire classroom. Why him? I want a gorgeous goddess to wake me up like that too. Let go of that guy's face and take mine instead. I blinked hard, my vision finally clearing, and mumbled, what time is it? Honestly, when people are half asleep, they are completely clueless. I just stared blankly at Vanessa for a really long time until she waved a cup of soy milk right in my face, finally waking me up. Eat some breakfast. Vanessa placed the soy milk and a fresh box of steamed soup dumplings right in front of me. At that moment, now watch this closely. Leo and Tyler were peeking through the back door, stacked on top of each other, eyes glued to us. Master Tyler, how do I dream about this tonight? Try sleeping on Max's pillow. Maybe you will dream about a gorgeous girl hand delivering breakfast to you. Poor Leo could not even dare to dream of this, yet it was happening in real life to his own bro. Meanwhile, I sipped the sugary soy milk to reboot my brain. Vanessa sat right next to me, nibbling on some bread, and softly asked, Did you stay up late last night? Why are you so sleepy this morning? I went to bed before midnight. Not that late, I recalled. Then why were you sleeping like a log in my class? Bored of my teaching? Vanessa frowned playfully, pretending to be displeased. No, I frantically waved my hands. No way, I was just tired. Probably just used to sleeping in during the summer. Hearing my excuse, Vanessa relaxed her brows but still pouted slightly, as if not totally satisfied with the answer. Feeling more awake, I quickly changed the subject. Miss Vanessa, you have not eaten breakfast either, right? Yeah. Vanessa took a small bite of her dry bread. You like sleeping in, and so do I. I wake up late and never grab breakfast. I know what you're thinking. Why eat only dry bread instead of something better? She said. She's dieting, claiming dumplings are oily and veggie buns are completely bland. Vanessa was a seriously picky eater. There were definitely many things she just did not like. You are not even chubby, why are you dieting? As I spoke, I gently pushed the box of soup dumplings toward her. You should eat something warm in the morning or it will ruin your stomach. Vanessa paused. Then a sweet smile bloomed on her lips. Then why didn't you eat breakfast? Aren't you hungry? I'm a guy, it's fine. Girls need to be more careful. Actually, that was just something my mom used to say. She always stressed breakfast was vital for everyone. Back in high school, no matter how busy I was, I always had breakfast, keeping my stomach fine. But in college, with nobody watching me, I got a bit too careless. Even though I ignored myself, I didn't think Vanessa should skip a proper breakfast. It would really suck if she ended up getting stomach cramps. I will just have a little to hold me over, you can eat the rest. I left half the box of delicious dumplings for Vanessa and drank my soy milk. She honestly didn't expect me to save a portion for myself. She was thrilled, her beautiful eyes curving into happy crescents, but she didn't eat immediately. Hey, I only brought one pair of chopsticks. I was drinking the sweet soy milk and nearly choked, my eyes widening as I stared at her. I thought she is not seriously going to make me feed her, right? Before I could ask, Vanessa casually replied, Don't overthink it. It is exactly what you are thinking. Is that okay? I hesitated nervously. Vanessa acted like it was absolutely no big deal. Why wouldn't it be? I used to feed you rice with a spoon all the time back in the day. I stayed completely silent, but internally I was screaming. I was literally like a toddler back then. I could barely walk straight. How can you compare that to right now? But looking at Vanessa's expectant eyes and smile, I had a brief internal struggle before finally picking up the chopsticks. Vanessa watched the warm dumpling come to her lips, parted them to eat it, her mouth curving into a delighted little smile. This kid is still as cute and obedient as ever. You and I saw this coming. Too pleased, she totally forgot those delicious soup dumplings are full of piping hot broth. Taking a bite, she instantly burned her tongue, choked, and coughed violently, tightly covering her mouth. Stick with me here, you and I are jumping into something incredibly cute. Vanessa was coughing, completely desperate for water, but I only had my morning soy milk. I only have soy milk, all right. Without second guessing, she totally snatched my cup, instantly gulping it down until she finally felt relief. Wiping her mouth, she stared at the empty paper cup, then noticed my extremely awkward face. It suddenly clicked that we literally just shared a drink. For a brief second, Vanessa felt totally flustered too, but she quickly shook it off. It is just a cup, she figured. We practically shared snacks from one bowl as kids. No big deal. Convincing herself, she cheerfully shook the empty cup. I accidentally finished it all. Sorry about that. It is totally fine. I dragged out my words honestly, still recovering from shock. Okay then, just feed me 2 more dumplings. Class starts soon. I used my chopsticks to feed 2 more dumplings to Vanessa. You eat the last one. I'm heading up to the podium now. Do not sleep during next period. If patrolling teachers catch you, do not blame me. Okay, I simply replied blankly, honestly, still super dazed. Before leaving, Vanessa randomly grabbed a tissue, gently wiped my mouth, and gracefully walked up to the podium. When the short break finally ended, everyone returned to their seats. Leo and Tyler sat beside me. Because they completely missed what just happened, they were totally clueless. Hey Max, taking forever eating breakfast. Still not done. I just chew my food thoroughly. Got a problem with that around Vanessa, my brain gets a bit laggy, but with the guys I am always sharp as a tack. Glaring at Leo, I confidently shoved the final dumpling into my mouth and tossed the trash, completely dropping my awkward vibe. Noticing this, now pay attention, here is where it gets interesting. Tyler watched me, then glanced at Vanessa, thinking, yeah, there is definitely some secret romantic drama happening. Following English class, us 3 bros headed straight back to our dorm room, planning to catch some sleep. But talking about totally random stuff kept everyone completely wide awake. Lewis had just woken up, casually brushing his teeth, when Leo basically teleported right beside him. Dude, you totally skipped class today. You seriously missed out. You didn't see Max and Vanessa? Before he could even finish, I shoved him away. Get lost, you gossip. What happened? Lewis was curious. I waved it off immediately. Nothing. Do not even worry. What is up with the great Master Tyler? Why is he so unusually quiet? Lewis asked. I turned toward Tyler. He was chilling in his chair, one leg propped up, resting his chin like a classic philosopher. He was definitely analyzing something deep right now. Tyler aggressively thought Max eating breakfast could not possibly be that slow. There was definitely some interaction. Was Max hand-fed? No, absolutely impossible. Vanessa looked totally normal at the podium. It cannot be that. But when I returned, watching Vanessa, Max looked completely distracted and forgot to eat. Yeah, that has to be it. I am a total genius. After finishing his wild mental gymnastics, Tyler randomly burst out laughing. But to us normal guys, he looked like an absolute lunatic. Is Master Tyler seriously sick? Lewis asked. Yes, severe brain illness. I nodded. Tyler realized he was being extra awkwardly coughed to hide his embarrassment and acted normal again. Time passed and our shiny initial college enthusiasm slowly completely vanished. Leo became a massive shut-in. Besides studying and eating, he literally only played video games and honestly sucked at them. Tyler joined the active student council and stayed crazy busy, rarely visiting the dorm. Meanwhile, Louis and I hit the campus library quite often. I studied French while he studied random Chinese slang. Friday afternoon, Louis and I returned to the dorm. "Can you actually believe this?" Leo immediately complained. "Did you guys see? We have a required autumn picnic this weekend." "A picnic, our school does that." My phone stayed on Do Not Disturb. Otherwise, the endless group pinging would drive me absolutely crazy. It is basically voluntary but gives moral conduct points. Saves us from actual volunteer work. "Sounds great," I replied. "A totally free weekend to just chill and cross something off the requirement list." Leo annoyingly added, "But you must write a reflection report afterward. We are literal college students still writing reflection reports." "Are we in elementary school?" I felt genuinely baffled. Right then, Tyler aggressively kicked the door open and started swearing immediately. Damn it. What kind of absolute joke is this school? Going on a dumb picnic just to write a stupid report. "Master Tyler, if you hate it, do not go." Louis suggested, seeing him totally overreacting. Tyler revealed his true reason. "I was not going anyway. Since I am in the student council, I know there are other valid options. I am volunteering for the big marathon. Isn't marathon volunteering incredibly exhausting?" Louis rested his chin on his hand. "I remember that being a full-day thing. The Riverwood Marathon this time is easy. There is a quick shuttle. You simply have to wake up super early, plus you get to take home all the leftover snacks. A senior told me he snagged a whole case of Red Bull last year." Hearing this, Leo joined the complaint train. "Damn, that sounds totally awesome. Why did we even pick this stupid picnic? Because the 8 class presidents of the communications major chose it. Trust me, you and I are gonna love watching this unfold." The good slots vanished fast, and Tyler grew even angrier just endlessly thinking about it. Let's dive into this. If they picked me for class president, this mess would not have happened. Those guys only voted for Vivian to impress her, and now they completely regret it. I put away my phone. Master Tyler, seriously enough with the long speeches. "If you don't want to go, skip it. You can easily find other volunteer work for points later." Even though guys complained about the report, seeing all those pretty girls sign up meant the final turnout was absolutely massive. Leo flipped his attitude at lightning speed. Honestly, writing a report isn't that annoying. But Tyler stubbornly stood his ground. "I am not going." "Max, are you joining?" Louis asked. He was closer to me than Tyler and wanted to go together. "I honestly don't want to. I know nobody. It would be boring." As I was thinking, my phone lit up. Vanessa texted, "Want to go to the autumn picnic with me this weekend. Do not just hide in the dorm all day." I was about to reply, but she quickly texted again. "I will bring food. Come with me." "Fine, but you do not need to lure me with snacks. I am 18. If I skip food, I will survive. Come out and hit the supermarket with me to buy stuff later." I put away my phone and told Louis I am going. "Sign me up." "Okay, where are you heading to buy some things for tomorrow?" Saying that, I walked out of the dorm. Louis found it totally strange. I was hesitating a second ago, and 2 texts later my mind was made up. He was going to ask Leo, but Leo was way too busy drooling over the roster of pretty girls joining the picnic to even care. Watch closely right here. "Louis, do you think this girl is pretty?" I hit the supermarket with Vanessa, bought snacks and ingredients, and then she drove straight back to her own apartment. Turning to me in the passenger seat, she playfully said, "Come upstairs and give me a hand." "Go up to your place." I looked right at her, totally wide-eyed. "Duh, you want me to spend money and effort while you just sit back and reap the rewards?" Hearing her clever logic, it made total sense. I could not let her do everything. Besides, she probably was not using this as an excuse to lure me upstairs for some crazy plot. Still, saying I was not nervous would be a complete lie. Entering her place, I felt stiff. Vanessa noticed and said, "Relax. Lucy is away on a trip. It is just the 2 of us. Make yourself at home." She took off her shoes and walked barefoot inside. I looked around. Though it was my first time here, I instantly recognized the innermost room as hers. Her old habits were exactly the same. She still liked hanging a plushie on the door handle. "Are you not tired holding those bags forever?" Vanessa's sudden voice snapped me right out of my deep thoughts. I jumped and quickly set the 2 plastic bags down. She tilted her head, looking at me. "Why are you zoning out? It is not your first time at my place. Why so tense? I know what you are thinking, right? The last time I visited her room, I was not even half her height. Now I am a full head taller. How is that the same? Go to the kitchen and wash cucumbers and carrots for me. I will wash the rice. I'm making sushi for tomorrow." I was decent at cooking, so I washed and perfectly julienned the veggies swiftly. Vanessa, however, was a bit clumsy, making me stare right at her practically brand new kitchen utensils. I honestly could not help but ask Miss Vanessa, do you rarely cook for yourself? Yeah, rarely. I usually eat at the school cafeteria for convenience or get dragged out to eat, so I almost never really cook. Vanessa started the rice cooker, turned around and asked, "Why do you ask?" "Because the utensils look too new." "Just asking. You think I do not know how to cook right?" She raised an eyebrow, looking at me suspiciously. No, I swear. I quickly defended myself. I was just asking randomly. Vanessa did not mind and gave a helpless smile. In college, I barely touched a kitchen. It has been years, of course I am a bit rusty. If it is too much trouble, we do not have to make it. After saying that, the corners of her mouth curled up into a smile. Or how about you cook dinner for me tonight? I might not make it taste good. It is fine. It is just the two of us. I will not judge. Since Vanessa put it that way, I got right to work. She started preparing the sushi for tomorrow. With the help of some tools, she quickly finished a box. Setting it on the table, she came right over to playfully watch me. "You are cooking without an apron." She appeared beside me so suddenly I got spooked and nearly dropped the knife. "It does not matter if I wear one or not. My dad never wears one at home. You really should wear it. Otherwise, grease will get on your clothes and it is hard to wash." She spoke while grabbing a virtually unused apron, gently handing it to me. "Wear it. Your clean white shirt will be a pain to wash." I put the knife down, slipped the apron strap over my neck, but fumbled with tying the strings behind my back. Watching me struggle, Vanessa happily laughed. "Let me tie it for you." She stepped behind me, gently brushing my hands aside, and carefully tied the apron strings. In that exact moment, I vividly felt her slender, cool hands brush against me. My heart hammered in my chest, a wild jolt of electricity shooting through my entire body. Trust me, you feel it too. A guy and girl alone with sudden physical contact, it made me an 18-year-old kid overly tense. Stick with me here. Vanessa acts totally normal, finishing it off with a cute butterfly bow. "All set. Go chill out." I gave a stiff nod, awkwardly picking that knife right back up. Vanessa spotted my pure panic. She knew hanging in the kitchen meant dinner taking ages. Moving to the living room dining table, she just watched my back. Resting her chin gently on her hand, she lightly tapped her cheek with one finger. She smiled to herself. Just an apron tied made him blush. Definitely a guy who's never dated. Glancing over, she murmured about how cute I still looked grown up. Suddenly, a fierce protective instinct sparked inside her head. He's seriously way too charming. I absolutely cannot let any toxic girls ruin him. Rushing the prep with barely any ingredients meant I only whipped up 2 simple savory dishes and a soup. I admitted it was just a super basic makeshift meal, feeling incredibly awkward about it. But Vanessa did not care one bit. She eagerly grabbed her chopsticks, taking a bite. It's perfect, way better than my usual takeout. Hearing that she actually liked it, my anxiety vanished and I finally sat down. Starving since leaving the dorm, I dug in. But then she asked why the apron was still on. Vanessa just stared. I mumbled about doing dishes later and taking it off then. Truthfully, I completely forgot I was even wearing the thing. "Now watch this part closely." She smiled, calling me cute mid-chew. I totally froze, staring blankly. Catching my shocked face, her eyes sparked with pure amusement. "Have you never held hands with another girl?" Her voice sounded super soft but clear. I vaguely caught something muttered, sounding exactly like little boy. "Miss Vanessa, what was that?" "Nothing, just eat." Looking incredibly smug after teasing me, she happily went back to her meal. My brain totally jammed on those words. Remembering her saying "c'est mignon" the other night made my heart flutter wildly. Why drop a line like that out of nowhere? Once dinner finished, I bolted out. Saying my goodbyes, I retreated straight back to the dorm. Leo was super busy prepping his stuff for tomorrow, leaving him zero time to snoop on my mysterious evening. Flipping open my laptop to study French, I quickly registered for classes and bought textbooks. Anything confusing Louis could explain later, but tonight, zero focus. My mind just kept replaying Vanessa's teasing words. What did it actually mean? I mumbled out loud just as Tyler strolled in. Shaking it off, I asked where our master Tyler had been. This old master was doing highly meaningful work, classic Tyler. If he went one day without the drama, he'd explode. Score that marathon volunteer spot. Nope, honestly, what an absolute waste of his effort. "Hey, whatever makes you happy," I replied, diving back into French. Curious, Tyler asked why I was grinding so hard. Grad school doesn't even require a second language. Who said I'm doing grad school? Picking up extra skills never hurts anyone. You and I both know he sensed that drama. My answer was logical, but I wasn't spilling anything. Saturday morning rolls around and our entire squad miraculously wakes up early. Tyler vanished first, already riding that 7 a.m. shuttle bus straight to his marathon. The three of us hit the subway toward the Forest Park assembly point. "Leo, are you seriously done yet? Louie and I are sick of waiting." "Almost done," he yelled from the locked bathroom. "Seriously, are you eating breakfast in there?" I genuinely thought he was snacking on the toilet. Finally, the guy actually stepped out, hair slicked back super shiny. Dude probably used half a hairspray bottle. The overwhelming cologne smell instantly made Louie and me incredibly dizzy. "Okay, fine. I used half a bottle of cologne, but I smell absolutely amazing. Let's go." I was completely speechless. Is he picnicking or hitting a club? Thankfully, we finally escaped our dorm room, hopping onto that Forest Park-bound subway. Riverwood University sits pretty far from that park, taking over 30 minutes by train. The carriage was absolutely packed with students from all the nearby schools. Louie and I kept chatting randomly, interrupted by cute girls begging for his number. A few actually asked for mine too, but nobody approached Leo. He was incredibly salty. Louie, being a blonde, blue-eyed guy getting attention, made sense, but why was I popular? I dressed super casually for today. T-shirt, brown shorts, basic sneakers, zero styling, zero cologne, yet everyone kept noticing me. Leo fumed internally. I am definitely more handsome. Did I spend the entire morning prepping just to look like a total clown out here? "Max, why does Leo look incredibly sad?" Louie whispered. Glancing over, I figured his ego took a massive critical hit. Who knows? Thanks to Leo dragging his feet, we arrived at Forest Park dead last. The entire group was already waiting. "Sorry we're late. Thanks for waiting." "Oh, it's fine, we just arrived too. Seriously, being good-looking grants you infinite privileges." Since Louie and I offered the apologies, none of the girls complained at all. A few late minutes, totally fine. That is where we leave it. In the crowd, girls kept whispering about handsome Louie, and yeah, calling me super cute too. Louie and I totally ignored it, but Leo soaked up the praise, his mood instantly skyrocketing. "Let us dive in," Teacher Vanessa finished roll call, and once everyone was present, our group hit the park. College trips are totally laid back. Everyone agreed to meet at the main lawn for lunch, then split up into tiny squads to explore. Lewis was about to ask me where I wanted to head, but I vanished into thin air. "Hey Lewis, do not bother searching for Max. That dude totally ran off with Vanessa. Let us team up." Lewis got completely dragged away by Leo. Sure enough, some random girl quickly asked them to hang, making Leo smile huge. Meanwhile, Vanessa and I had already wandered deep inside the park together. "Why were you guys running so late?" I drove and assumed I would be last. "It is totally because of my annoying dorm mate. He kept spraying cologne and obsessively fixing his hair. Took absolutely forever. I am totally serious this time. It was 100% Leo's fault." We happily walked and chatted, taking a perfectly shaded forest path to avoid the intense sun. The woods were completely quiet and empty. I snapped some super cute photos of Vanessa. Did they not say wild Sika deer lived around here? "We have walked forever and zero deer so far." After posing, Vanessa stood right beside me, her bright eyes eagerly darting around, hoping to spot one. We passed like 3 different Sika deer sighting signs, yet we had not seen a single tiny shadow anywhere. The odds are definitely super low. Deer just vanish whenever they spot a person. Why plaster wild Sika deer posters everywhere totally gets your hopes up for nothing. That is simply how they bait all the tourists. We pushed deeper. Huge trees and wild weeds grew thicker, almost hiding the stones. Watch closely right here. Vanessa kept checking her phone, desperately hoping to snap a cool picture. She was so completely focused, she totally missed the grass rustling right beside her. A tiny, curious baby Sika deer gently nudged her leg. Vanessa was caught completely off guard. She practically jumped out of her own skin and lunged straight at me. Her loud scream scared me too. Seeing her leap, pure instinct took over, and I quickly caught her. In that exact split second, the whole forest went perfectly silent. Our wildly pounding hearts were the only sound. Startled by Vanessa screaming, the baby deer quickly bolted into the woods. I held her super tightly, our bodies completely pressed together. Nobody said a word. Through the super thin fabric of her white dress, my hands tightly supported the back of her thighs so she would not tumble. This was definitely the absolute closest I had ever been to any girl. I was panicking so much I just held my breath. Her body was incredibly soft, her legs resting against my hands like plush pillows. Totally terrified, she squeezed her eyes shut tightly, wrapping both arms right around my neck. two incredibly soft pillows pressed firmly against my racing chest, making it really hard to breathe. It took me a very long moment to process. "Miss, you are totally fine now." Vanessa opened her eyes, her pretty face burning red. She quickly pulled away and smoothed her cute dress. I was blushing super hard too. Thank goodness nobody was around. Otherwise, we would both just dig a deep hole and hide. Despite the sudden scare, Vanessa regained her cheerful composure fast. Her face stayed super flushed, resting her cute chin on her hand, watching me nervously brush off leaves. Looking up, I totally caught her smiling in a very playful way. "You saw that, right?" she teased. "You totally took advantage of me, right?" My eyes widened frantically, waving my hands around. "No way, I had zero clue what was happening. I just caught you so you would not fall. Totally an accident." When I grabbed her, my brain went completely blank. I barely remember doing it. Seeing me freak out, Vanessa simply burst out laughing. "Haha, why act so nervous? Guilty conscience, absolutely not," I answered without hesitation. Vanessa stepped closer, smiling with a playful vibe. "Then I will let you hug me again, want to, huh?" I thought my ears were broken. She always said completely unexpected things. Hesitating for 2 whole seconds, I just laughed. "Really? Keep dreaming." Vanessa gave a super soft humph and happily walked ahead. "Let us hurry or we are late for lunch." I jogged after her, my mind totally replaying that amazing soft sensation. It actually felt incredibly nice. I seriously kind of wanted to hug her again. We strolled back to the main lawn where everyone was happily eating a fun barbecue lunch. Vanessa brought out yesterday's homemade sushi, shared some with students, and saved half for us. Honestly, I did not have super high expectations for her sushi. She almost never cooks. As long as it tasted okay, it was a total win, but one single bite completely changed my mind. Wow, Miss Vanessa, this is insanely good. Sushi is super easy. Buying it costs too much and tastes super basic, so I happily make it myself. Right then, a cute student yelled out, "Miss Vanessa, come grill delicious meat with us." Coming right over. Vanessa popped some sushi into her mouth, playfully dragging me along. "Sushi never fills you up. Let us grab barbecue." We quickly arrived at the crowded park store. One single look at the menu and my eyes almost completely popped out. 78 yuan just for a tiny meat pack. So what do you and I think? Classic tourist trap. But since we were here, I absolutely could not let Vanessa stay hungry. "Stick with me, you are going to love this dynamic." I tried paying, but Vanessa scanned her code first. I insisted on paying to save her cash. She insisted she had enough cash from working. Plus, she playfully pointed out that my parents still hold on to my allowance. She even joked her salary was high enough to be my sugar mama. I quickly passed on that. Anyway, we finally rented a grill, arranged the charcoal, and laid out the meat. Despite having a canopy overhead, that intense summer heat mixed with the blazing grill turned the whole spot into an absolute sauna. "Miss Vanessa, go rest. I will grill." She happily sat nearby. Vanessa was sweating like crazy, her hair sticking right to her cheeks. I was dripping too, but the intense grill heat evaporated it instantly. Total outdoor sauna vibes. 10 minutes later, the grilling was done. I grabbed a few quick bites for energy, then collapsed in the shade to cool off. "Why aren't you eating?" Vanessa asked mid-bite, her big eyes staring right at me. I was way too hot and completely lost my appetite. I just desperately wanted air conditioning. Hearing this, she swallowed her food. She asked if I would get hungry later. I brushed it off, leaned back, and closed my eyes, letting a cool breeze melt away my cranky heat exhaustion. Sitting there quietly, I actually started dozing off. Suddenly, her super gentle voice echoed out, simply saying, "Look up, open wide." I blinked my eyes open, and there was Vanessa, plate in hand, using her chopsticks to hold a piece of hot grilled meat right to my lips. "Eat up or you will have zero energy for this afternoon. Staying full is crucial." Honestly, besides teasing me, her biggest passion is food, still. I just stared blankly at the meat, completely forgetting to open my mouth. "Now watch this hilarious part." She joked about saying, like feeding a toddler. That completely snapped me awake. I opened my mouth and chewed. As she grabbed another piece, I quickly reached for the plate, insisting I could feed my own self. She totally swatted my hand away, claiming my arm would get tired. I told her it felt weird, but she just asked what was so weird about it. She mentioned I fed her breakfast before. Now she was just returning the favor. Totally fair. I gave up arguing and let her feed me. Honestly, she looked addicted to it. I seriously felt like a little puppy she was happily raising. The more she fed me, the brighter she smiled. She abandoned her own lunch and just kept happily shoving meat into my mouth until I was completely stuffed. After lunch, our group chilled under the tents, waiting for the absolute hottest part of the afternoon to pass before moving on. Vanessa and I headed out early, though, because she desperately wanted to photograph a Sika deer. Sadly, after accidentally scaring that baby deer earlier, we found nothing. I asked if she had some secret magical wish that required seeing a Sika deer. My legs were aching, but here is the secret you and I caught. She heard that. Seeing one brings amazing luck and true destiny. If two people see it together, it symbolizes their fated romantic connection. I just laughed. I teased her for being single and believing unscientific superstitions. She fired back that believing in a little sweet mysticism never really hurt anyone. Fair point. I pulled at my shirt, mentioning it was getting crazy muggy, and suggested we finally take a much-needed break. We crashed in a small gazebo. She agreed it was muggy, totally confused why the bright morning sun had suddenly turned into dark, heavy clouds. She prayed it would not rain. Literally right as she finished speaking, we both completely froze. I begged her not to jinx our luck. We had 0 umbrellas. She blamed me, swearing the official forecast promised absolutely no rain for today or tomorrow. How could it possibly rain? We hoped it would not. Smack, a heavy water drop hit the gazebo roof. We looked up. The sky grew incredibly dark right before our eyes. Seconds later, the rain rapidly intensified, instantly turning into an absolute torrential summer downpour. I stared at the heavy rain, then shot Vanessa a dramatic eyebrow. She just helplessly threw her hands up. She blamed the weather forecast. I sighed. I could not blame her, but what if this heavy rain never stopped? She insisted summer storms usually pass fast. Still, we were totally trapped in that gazebo, completely unable to go anywhere. Our picnic group chat exploded about the rain. Some lucky people found shelter, while others with umbrellas just decided to head back early. Being the responsible teacher in charge, Vanessa quickly messaged everyone, reminding them to stay safe and check in once back at campus. I texted Lewis to make sure he was okay. Thankfully, he borrowed an umbrella and was riding the subway back. He asked if I needed an umbrella brought back. I told him no need, just to get back totally safe. After that quick chat, I pocketed my phone. The storm grew much heavier, forming a thick, watery curtain that completely blurred our vision. Making things worse, the tiny gazebo only covered the center. The exposed sides let the howling wind blow rain inside. Soon our shoes were totally soaked, and the hem of Vanessa's lovely dress was completely wet. This sudden storm totally ruined her cheerful mood. She kept her head down, occasionally watching the downpour while desperately clutching her dress to keep it from getting even wetter. Suddenly, I stood up. I told Miss Vanessa to put her legs on the bench to avoid getting wet. Huh? Vanessa just stared blankly. I swear you and I have never seen her look this wonderfully clueless before. It was so incredibly adorable. But she quickly bounced back, shaking her head. It is fine, you sit. Standing avoids the rain. She did not say no right away. Thinking for a moment, she suggested a clever compromise. Listen, just sit down. I know exactly how to keep my dress dry. He sat back down, totally curious. The second he sat, Vanessa casually threw her legs directly across his lap. This works perfectly. Plus, your lap beats that wooden bench. Way more comfortable. His shorts were already damp, so he immediately felt the intense warmth of her slender legs right through the fabric. Her wet white dress turned slightly transparent, completely revealing her absolutely flawless legs. Just stay calm. His brain completely stopped, but one tiny shred of logic somehow survived. He instantly looked up and snapped his head away, terrified to stare. Why look away? Vanessa looked confused, staring at the blurry rain and trees. Just watching the rain. Now watch closely right here. He kept staring into the distance. Vanessa noticed his neck burning red to his ears and instantly understood. Smiling, she playfully shifted her legs. He visibly shuddered and loudly, nervously gulped. His breath hitched. What is wrong? Am I making you uncomfortable? She teased, barely holding back laughter. No way! He spun around to deny it, but seeing her gorgeous face, he immediately looked away, just enjoying the view. His face was practically on fire, heart pounding fast. Vanessa grinned huge and whispered softly, "Oh, my Ruby is blushing." He turned back around. Did she think he lacked understanding? Still smiling, she flirted in French. He's really cute. He had just studied those exact phrases, so he totally understood every single word. Miss Vanessa, why randomly call me cute? You did not even ask what I was saying this time. She just smiled, her beautiful eyes curving because she knew. At first, he almost confessed the truth. But then he realized if she knew he understood her French, she would be completely mortified and absolutely never speak to him again. She really thought he was clueless and just wanted to tease him. Exposing her would cause maximum embarrassment, so he simply played dumb instead. "What did you say? Calling me silly? Your absolute nonsense is sounding just like Tyler." She laughed. September weather mimics a toddler, crying then suddenly fine, right? Then the heavy downpour vanished completely. They finally left the little gazebo, completely losing all motivation to explore, and headed back. Their soaked shoes squelched loudly, slowing them down. Leaving the trees, they were exhausted. We both know that feeling. Spotting a roadside bike rental, he asked her, "Miss Vanessa, what if I ride you back to the gate? Walking will take absolutely forever." Despite being a strong, independent woman, Vanessa had zero energy. Panting, she leaned on her knees. "Yeah, okay." He rented a 30 yuan bike, desperate to return. He got on, and Vanessa sat side saddle on the rack, wrapping her arms around his waist and leaning right against him. This time she was not teasing. Genuinely exhausted, she held on to avoid falling. He expected unsteadiness with her sitting sideways, but feeling her suddenly hug him still made him shiver. "Ready? Yeah." Without another word, he carefully started pedaling toward the main gate. The fading golden evening sun cast a super warm, beautiful glow over them. Riding past endless trees, a peaceful silence fell. Vanessa just held on tightly, not moving or speaking. Focusing on the ride, he realized how far they walked. Suddenly a slight shift. Her resting head began sliding slowly downward. At first he thought she was adjusting. Then sheer panic hit. She was falling asleep. "Miss Vanessa, do not sleep," panicking. He slammed the brakes, keeping one hand steering while reaching back to catch her head from falling. Vanessa jolted awake, her beautiful eyes heavy with exhaustion. Her eyelids felt incredibly heavy. "I am not sleeping. Keep riding, just resting my eyes." She knew the danger, but exhaustion completely took over. He sighed. "Do not sleep, pedaling faster." "Okay." She answered softly, wrapping around his waist again. But minutes later, she started nodding off. With zero options, knowing she was completely drained, he steered with one hand while reaching back to physically support her and keep her steady. He bravely rode like that to the gate and quickly returned the bike. Vanessa slept the whole ride, finally waking up after standing. "Are you okay to drive or need a driver? I fear you will sleep. No, totally awake. You sleep instead. That is where we leave them today." "I am fine, not sleepy," she claimed. Honestly, I was terrified she would fall asleep driving so fast, staying super alert the entire ride. Stick with me here because this rainy drive back to her apartment starts something totally unexpected. She parks the car and insists I come up for an umbrella. I try saying no, the rain is super light and I am already totally soaked anyway. I just wanted to head straight back to the dorm and shower, but she is absolutely not taking no for an answer. She warns me the dorm is too far away to walk in wet shoes, saying I will end up looking like a totally drenched rat. She tells me to borrow slippers first. My feet are actually aching so badly, so I just follow her up. Walking inside the apartment, we both take off our soaking wet shoes. Vanessa pulls some cute pink slippers from the cabinet. She hands them over. Peeling off my damp socks and slipping them on feels absolutely amazing. Exhausted, Vanessa slumps onto the entryway sofa, scrolling her phone to make sure every single student returned safely. I ask if she is changing her shoes. She tells me to grab her yellow slippers. I hand them over to her and get ready to finally head right out. But she stops me asking how I plan to get back without the umbrella she promised. Setting her phone down, she tries standing up, but those damp socks make her completely slip, sending her tumbling right back down onto the soft sofa. I panic for a second, but thankfully the sofa cushions her fall. She sits there pouting, grumbling about slipping on a completely flat floor. Cursing her bad luck, she lifts one leg to remove her socks, but freezes halfway through and just stares directly at me. Seeing that sudden, cheeky smile makes my heart skip. I know instantly she is about to pull something completely ridiculous. Watch closely here because things get wild. She claims she is too sore to bend over and boldly demands I take off her socks. "Wait, what?" She flashes this mischievous smile, asking if I have a problem with it, teasing that I have already peeked at her 5 times since entering. Calling it the 6th time makes my face burn bright red from getting caught. She tells me to hurry. She calls it a reward for biking her home. I just think to myself, what kind of bossy reward is this? She keeps teasing me, playfully crossing and swaying her legs back and forth until I am blushing furiously. I have absolutely no other choice but to obey. Since I am already so incredibly embarrassed, I decide to stop overthinking things and boldly reach out to grab her playfully swaying foot. Vanessa is totally unprepared for that, instantly flinching back. She was acting so incredibly smug just a second ago, but now she panics, asking how I dare grab her foot. I remind her she asked me to. I pout, acting a little annoyed about it. Suddenly, her beautiful face flushes totally crimson. Unable to argue, she looks away and tells me to hurry up. Her cute white shorts with the floral hem are actually slightly sheer right now from the heavy rain. Her feet look so delicately pink. I get this sudden urge to pinch them but hold back, my face burning as she looks away. She totally started this game, so why is she acting so painfully shy right now? Hesitating for a second, I gently pull off her ankle socks, revealing beautiful feet as pale as white jade with a soft hint of pink. You and I know she is completely flustered. I softly say it is done, but she zones out until I finally repeat myself. I ask what she was thinking about her face bright red. Flustered, she clearly panics and probably just tells a lie. She claims she was just remembering our childhood biking me to the town center. She says I fell asleep on the way back, forcing her to carefully bike and hold me the entire way home. Hearing that story brings the memory back and I just laugh. She smiles, reminding me she is 6 years older, so when I was just a clueless 5-year-old, she was already a tween. She brags about her great memory. We chat a bit more, then I grab her umbrella and head straight back to campus. Meanwhile, Vanessa grabs her cozy pajamas, sliding into her cute slippers to hit the bathroom. Staring in the mirror, the memory of what just happened hits her. She covers her face, feeling like she might actually pass out from the intense embarrassment. Back at the dorm, I am the very last to arrive. Louis is absolutely devouring his spicy cabbage noodles, totally influenced by Tyler and addicted to the intense heat even while chugging water. Tyler is busily sorting his marathon loot, looking exactly like some shady underground smuggler. Hearing running water means Leo is showering. I ask Louis why he has not showered. Louis casually says he stayed completely dry, letting the others go first. How did he avoid getting rained on at all during that massive torrential downpour? Even with a huge umbrella, you would definitely still get splashed. Louis almost puts his noodles down to explain when Leo suddenly yells right from inside. Leo shouts that Louis was totally surrounded by 8 girls, with one even holding a massive umbrella for him. Can you and I even imagine that? I nod, picturing a squad of girls fighting just to hold an umbrella over Louis. That image gives me actual goosebumps. Being too popular does not always seem great. I ask Leo if he managed to secure a goddess today. I remember he spent the whole morning getting ready to impress girls. Not totally successful, but he claims there is progress. He feels he is almost there. Leo walks out fully dressed and radiating pure confidence. Stick with me here. Louis dropped the truth. He paid for the girls' barbecue just to get a basic thanks. I was absolutely speechless, just giving him a thumbs up, spending hundreds just to hear thanks twice. What an absolute legend. Being a clueless fanboy without any logic never ends well. Tyler, super busy sorting his huge snack haul, quickly chimed in. Leo, I am begging you to snap out of it. If someone actually likes you, they would never let you pay for everything. Just go Dutch. No way splitting the bill makes me look cheap. How could I do that? Tyler nearly exploded. Seeing Leo act as stubborn as a rock, I quickly stepped right in. Master Tyler, stop trying to save him. Let him learn the hard way, I added. I really hope he avoids eating dirt by the end of the month. Tyler sighed with huge frustration. Fanboys never admit their mistakes, just like fools never realize they act foolish. That is totally fine. Doesn't Master Tyler have tons of food? Leo grinned shamelessly. Tyler slammed his locker completely shut and locked it. This is mine, earned with absolute sweat and tears. I am definitely not sharing with you. Master Tyler, do not be so cheap. You have tons of stuff. How can you finish it? Stop complaining. I already shared with everyone. I am definitely not being stingy. Tyler honestly gave us plenty, but that leftover mountain of snacks was still totally massive. There is just so much. What will you do with it? You cannot finish it. Let me help you eat it. Get out. This master will handle it himself. Now watch closely. Even though Tyler refused, Leo constantly begged and finally looted those noodles, saving his month. But suddenly Tyler noticed the bright pink slippers I was currently wearing. Max, why wear pink slippers? That is definitely a macho man color. Louis wears pink shirts, but he wears them all the time. Your closet is just black and white. Why this sudden bright style change? I just felt like trying something totally new, I replied, slipping into the bathroom. But his detective brain kept running. Noticing the cute feminine style, he totally suspected they belonged to Vanessa. Combined with me returning super late, he almost assumed they were hers, but he quickly rejected his own wild theory. Probably not. Those two are not even dating. There is zero chance they live together. A few days later, our whole dorm drank nothing but Tyler and his Red Bull stash. I got completely sick of it and honestly just craved plain water instead. Master Tyler, why did you bring so much back? Did the volunteers just get a huge ration? I had to ask during class. They skipped theirs, so I just took everything, Tyler stated proudly. Totally free stuff. Leaving it behind is just a massive waste. Are you not totally sick of it? If I get bored, I will give it to Leo. He needs free food money anyway. Tyler figured that using Leo as a human garbage disposal meant zero waste. But I had a much better idea. How much can that guy actually eat? With this huge mountain of stuff, why not make some cash? Tyler totally lit up, meaning what? The campus market is a total scam, and cheap places are far away. If we sell this at normal prices, we will absolutely make a huge profit. You and I know this is a genius idea. Sell it how? Set up a stall. Obviously not. I was explaining, but instantly stopped. Tyler looked totally confused and spun around only to find Professor Stern, the strictest teacher ever, glaring right at us. We are totally doomed. Every single school has those super strict, terrifying professors. Tyler and I were whispering the entire class and got caught red-handed. After class, we got dragged into his office for a major lecture. You must pay attention. You worked incredibly hard for college, not to waste time. He just kept rambling endlessly. Are you actually doing justice to your 3 solid years of tough high school effort? Tyler and I stayed completely silent, heads down, enduring Stern and his massive life lecture. There was zero escape. We just had to take it. Suddenly, a loud knock on the heavy door interrupted his long sermon. Come in. I glanced over and was totally shocked to see Vanessa walking inside. She honestly never expected to see me waiting here. Her eyes widened slightly, but she stayed quiet, just handing some important documents to Professor Stern. Professor, I have perfectly organized the lesson plans. Good, just leave them right there. Vanessa set them down, glanced at me, and asked, Professor Stern, did Max do something totally wrong? These two kept talking the whole class. I am disciplining them. Absolutely unacceptable. Vanessa nodded, but suddenly completely shifted her tone. Professor, you are super busy. I can make them write reflection essays instead. Tyler and I cheered internally. We were finally free from Professor Stern and his absolutely endless chanting. Vanessa let us out. Tyler instantly bolted away while I got called into her quiet office to help clear out some dusty old items. How did you guys find the absolute courage to talk during his class? Were you not afraid of his nagging? She clearly knew I was the crazy type to walk directly into danger knowing the massive risks. His class is incredibly boring, but I still got caught. So what do you and I learn? College is basically just high school with extra steps. Let us dive in. You and I know this feeling, absolute boredom. Even high school lectures were way more entertaining than this. Miss Vanessa, I sleep through every single one of your English lessons. Come on, those classes are just way too early. What should I do if you get tired? I sighed heavily. Plus, you teach things I already mastered. I just tune out. See, my mom actually teaches high school English, so while I am not perfect, talking smoothly to native speakers is a total breeze. Excuses, excuses! Vanessa scoffed right back. If you fail any subject this semester, I am totally snitching to your mother. I actually shuddered at that. My mom was the absolute queen. Her word was basically the law. After finishing cleaning up her office, I turned to leave. Flashing a cheeky smile, I asked, So about that reflection essay, still writing it. Just skip it, huge waste of time. Awesome. Having your neighbor as your teacher is seriously peak luck. Escaping minor trouble is so effortlessly easy. Returning to the dorm, Tyler and I resumed our master plan. We do not need a physical stall. Let us just post on the campus confession wall and forums with our prices. Anyone buys, we deliver straight to their door. Tyler completely lit up. Absolute genius, let us start right now. But that is not enough. Hit the university forums too. Tons of students will buy cheaper than the supermarket and brought right to them. It is an absolute no-brainer. We jumped right into action. One sneaky post on the confession wall, another one hitting the forums. Now watch closely. You are going to love this part. Orders instantly started flooding in, 1, 2, 3. For 2 straight days, we sprinted across dorms, delivering everything. We completely sold out. Tyler's massive stash of snacks and drinks. People kept begging for more, but I had to tell them we were totally sold out. In total, we cleared over 1,000 yuans. Splitting it evenly, we each bagged over 500 max. You are a genius. Even though Tyler had cash, earning it himself felt incredibly rewarding. We were completely exhausted, breathing so heavily. I totally collapsed into a chair, gasping. This plan is golden. Want to keep going? Tyler nodded instantly. Only a total fool would actually stop now. Real money-making chances are rare. We have to seize this. My hype totally enlightened him, locking in his fierce resolve to run this dorm store. But right now, completely empty shelves. We desperately needed capital to restock everything. Buying wholesale costs a huge chunk of cash, and stacking inventory inside our dorm room forever was impossible. We desperately needed storage before leveling up. I was pretty broke, and Tyler's parents kept him super restricted. Only 500 won monthly for expenses left him with literally zero extra savings. After brainstorming, I decided to just beg my dad for startup cash. Got any money? I called him up and asked super bluntly. Tyler literally jumped in pure shock beside me. Holy wow, is this guy actually a secret rich kid asking for funds that smoothly? But my dad, Mark, fired back instantly. Zero money. Your old man only has his energy left to give. He almost hung up. Wait, hold on, I am serious. I quickly explained my epic business plan. After hearing it out, he actually agreed. A clever little hustle like this is actually fantastic. Seeing him cave, I was absolutely thrilled. Okay, Dad, then please send some startup capital. Just 10,000 yuan is perfectly fine. Where would I even get 10,000? Your mom strictly controls our home finances. You know that. Then ask Mom for me. I was way too terrified to face her directly, so I totally pawned it onto him. How exactly should I ask her? Dad, you are brilliant. You can definitely do it. Once I make money, I will give you a sweet allowance. I know what you are thinking. Giving his own dad an allowance? This entire family dynamic is completely hilarious and backwards, right? After dropping some desperate begging and sweet flattery, my dad finally agreed to ask my mom. The very next day, a 10,000 yuan transfer hit my account with a text. Money sent. Your mom is visiting Riverwood on business soon. She will drop by to visit you and Vanessa. Okay, I texted back but noticed something super weird. Why did Dad sound so incredibly drained? Begging for that 10,000 must have severely drained him. Armed with fresh capital, I planned to restock, quickly build up our campus reputation, and eventually rent real storage. But instantly, our first massive problem popped up. Running endless deliveries was totally exhausting. During PE class, I strategized with Tyler. Master Tyler, if it is only us two running deliveries, we will completely collapse eventually. It has been fine, Tyler argued, totally still riding that amazing high of making fast cash. Honestly, I was practically paying his salary anyway since I bought the inventory and all sales money hit my personal account first. But you simply cannot keep up forever. I am seriously thinking of hiring another delivery guy. Tyler instantly replied, Get Leo. He is incredibly broke eating ramen every day. He will definitely say yes. Sounds perfect. Let us grab him after class. While resting, a thought hit me. Wait, we have been in class forever now. Where is our teacher? And trust me, you and I are absolutely not ready for the massive bombshell announcement that suddenly dropped next. Today's physical test. Men 1,000 meters, women 800. Get ready, I was stunned. All right, picture this. I was completely wiped out from running deliveries and now a fitness test, absolute torture. But I had no choice. Gritting my teeth, I hit the starting line. All the guys were complaining, agreeing to just jog and barely pass. But when the whistle blew, boom, everyone sprinted like they had rockets attached. Us four roommates started out strong together, but pretty soon I completely fell to the back. Suddenly girls started cheering loudly. I did not even need to look, obviously screaming for Louis. Then Louis zoomed right past me. I was totally stunned. Wait, were you not ahead? Why so slow? I am already on lap 2. I stood there clueless, remembering that old math problem. Xiaoming and Xiaohua are running. Xiaoming is faster. When will he lap Xiaohua? I was Xiaohua now. Humiliating, but pride did not matter. You and I both know the feeling passing is everything. Getting lapped proved I was way too slow. Gotta speed up. Lap 2 pushing my absolute limits. I vaguely spotted someone familiar by the finish line, but ignored it, pouring every single ounce of energy into that final lap. Max 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Hearing the coach yell my time, I finally passed. Totally exhausted, I wanted to collapse. Do not fall. A familiar voice called out, but my body shut down. I pitched forward. Amazingly, I missed the hard ground. Instead, I crashed into something insanely soft. Softer than any pillow and smelling absolutely amazing. So comforting, I just wanted to fall asleep right there. Are you seeing this? The whispers jolted me awake. What the heck? Let me swap places. Startled, I snapped up. Vanessa was standing right in front of me, her beautiful face slightly flushed. Her shirt was slightly wrinkled. I instantly realized what I had just crashed into, panicking to apologize. But standing up too fast made my head absolutely spin. I totally lost my balance and suddenly I started falling again. "Do not scare me." Vanessa quickly caught me. "I am fine." My mouth said fine, but my body was too honest. "Trust me," right into her arms.